The Republican Party, the Washington Post reported it this way. According to a Washington Post ABC News poll, even among Democrats, there is no consensus about the timing of any troop withdrawal. While 3/4 want to decrease the number of troops in Iraq, only 1/3 advocated complete immediate withdrawal. Another issue important to the base, and by extension the net roots, has to do with gay marriage. This is a Pew poll from January of this year. Look at the division allowing legal gay marriage among Democrats: 49% in favor, 43% oppose. Marcos, does that make the point to you, or at least raise the argument, that some of what you're arguing is not in the mainstream of the Democratic Party?
Absolutely not. I mean,
there's more division.
On the Iraq issue, this is semantics. Whether we get out in 3 months, 6 months, or a year, there is a strong consensus, almost universal in our party, and vast majorities amongst the American public, that people want out. People want this war to end. They want our troops home. They want to bring our troops home to be with their families.
But how you get out is not just semantics. It's a very important point.
When you ask a poll question, though, and you say, do you want to get out immediately, or do you want to get out in 6 months or a year? We're talking semantics. At the bottom line is that the vast majority...
Doesn't that speak to the issue of how you form an exit strategy?
Because we're not going to get out while we have George Bush as president. I mean, so if we say we want to be out in 3 months, clearly, if we could be out yesterday, I'd want to be out yesterday. I also understand, as a veteran who worked in logistics, that you can't pull out 160,000 troops overnight or even in 3 months. So yeah, there's an ideal situation, which is let's get them out as quickly as possible. So the poll questions in that regard, I think, are very much moving in semantics. But I do agree with Harold that we do need to work together, and I hope you'll be at next year's DailyKos conference.
Come to ours too.
Nicknamed, it's going to be called Netroots Nation. But what we need...
Would either of you go to each other's conventions?
I would go.
I make clear right now, I will be there next year.
But ultimately, if it was up to me, I would be sitting here right next to talking to Senator Harold Ford, and we had 10 Senate races, and one was run on this sort of DLC platform of blurring distinctions and not really proudly standing for Democrats. And I hope that the DLC moves towards being proud of being Democrats. It doesn't have anything to do with being conservative or liberal, being proud to be Democrats.
But does it trouble you, Congressman, that none of the Democrats running for president came to your convention this year?
Not sure we wanted them all there, but primaries on both sides. Mitt Romney and Fred Thompson look like raging conservatives. They didn't look that way when Mitt Romney was governor.
In other words, you think they're going to come back to the center
next year? But let me just, the DLC, balancing budgets, creating surpluses, reducing welfare, reducing crime, introducing the earned income tax credit, raising the bottom 20% income, 24% of.
But Marcos, for everything that Bill Clinton did.
But you're blaming me for John Bro. It's not fair.
Bill Clinton was credit for everything Bill Clinton did.
But he was chairman of the DLC,
and
Marcos.
Ultimately, think about this. You talk about
but you can't have it both ways, sir. I got great respect, but you can't have it both ways.
You're talking about bringing the, appealing to the vast majority of the American public. Bill Clinton never won with 50% plus one of the vote.
But he was president twice. I'll take his record any day of the week.
The most talented politician of our era, an incredible political talent, wasn't able to win 50% of the American vote. Now, last year in 2006, running as strong, unapologetic, muscular Democrats brought in 56% of the vote. We are appealing to the mainstream. We brought in independents in droves, and it wasn't just George Bush. George Bush gave us an opening. But if it was George Bush, if it was only George Bush, you would be senator today.
But let me say this. John Tester, Claire McCaskill, Jim Webb.
John Tester, we beat in a primary. We beat a DLC-backed primary candidate.
He ran to the right of the DLC and DailyKos on several issues. He ran to the left on other issues.
On what issues?
On guns, on gay marriage.
I'm not pro-gun Democrat.
On guns, on gay marriage. There are a number of issues on cultural issues. Jim Webb the same way. My only point is this. There's no need for us to argue. Those guys won, and we should be proud.
Because they were proud Democrats.
And I'm one too. There's no need to question my leaders. I want to do nothing more than ensure that progressive causes and interests are advanced. I want nothing more, and I know you do as well, want Democrats to win. We do nothing but help Mitt Romney, Fred Thompson, John McCain, and Rudy Giuliani when we argue essentially over semantics.
Will you stop going on Fox News and attacking Harry Reid for abandoning the troops, betraying the troops? Because you just did that a couple of days ago.
But Marcos, in all fairness, your site has posted awful things about Jewish Americans. Your site has offered... You have a site up about something about Cindy Sheehan. She uses it as she has a heavy presence there and talking about her run against
democracy. If you don't like regular people, hundreds of thousands of people
I love it, but you can't be critical of us.
You're going to have, because I don't control hundreds of thousands of voices. You're an organization of a few dozen people. You can control that message, and you don't need to attack